I would nurse her, like I said, and then I'm not sure if it's still recording. My phone just gave me a weird notice, so I may have to do this in 2 parts. But we're gonna try it. So I would nurse her. You good? Okay. I would nurse her as long as I could before she would get mad. And then I'd hand her over to Daddy to feed her supplemental bottle, and I would pump. But I also made sure that at least a few times a week, preferably once a day, but I will admit that it wasn't always once a day because that's really hard to do as a new mom. I would carve out an hour of time because it takes about an hour, and I would do what's called power pumping. Power pumping is what saved me. Power pumping is you pump for 20 minutes, both sides, both breasts at the same time. You pump for 20 minutes. You take a 10-minute break. You pump for another 10 minutes. You take another 10-minute break. And then you pump again for 10 minutes. And then you're done. That's fine. And make sure you stay hydrated while you're doing this, because you will get thirsty. I'm not a person who gets naturally very thirsty. It's kind of weird and honestly concerning, and I should probably bring it up to my doctor, but I keep forgetting. But, like, you will get thirsty. But power pumping is what saved my supply. It really is. It is what got my supply to go up. It's the only thing that really worked. So power pumping is everything. So I made sure to pump while she was having her supplements, and then I tried for once a day power pumping. It takes about an hour, so it's a bit obnoxious, but if you are determined to do this, it is your lifesaver. The other things that I tried, like supplements and stuff. So the 2 biggest supplements that I've heard of is oatmeal, which I don't know if oatmeal actually helps me. I don't like oatmeal, like actual oatmeal. So my husband would make me oatmeal raisin cookies, which I don't know if they help my milk supply, but they tasted really good. So, and I would use what's the Quaker, I think, chewy bars that are oatmeal raisin, and those are really delicious. And so I would try those because oatmeal is supposed to help, and it tasted good. So I was like, well, okay, I can eat this one-handed while nursing anyway, so I might as well. So it might have helped. I don't know. But the other thing I have really heard of that's really highly recommended and talked about is called fenugreek. And I have seen this in powder form and in capsule form. I'm sure there are other ways to have it too, but those are the 2 ways that I have found personally. And by the way, it tastes disgusting. And it has an aftertaste. And it makes you burp. And the aftertaste comes back with all your burping. It's fabulous. Don't try this stuff. Not just because it's disgusting, but I also found out after I started taking the supplements that were really expensive. It actually, for most women, not all women, but for most women, actually hurts your supply. So I don't know why it is such a common, oh, try this, it'll help. Because for most women, it actually hurts your supply. So I don't know why that's a big thing, but it is, so don't listen to them. Don't take that chance. If you're having trouble with your supply, don't take the chance. Don't try fenugreek. It will hurt your supply. I mean, okay, it's not like a set rule. Like, there are some women it does help. But for the most part, yeah, it will hurt your supply. There are like teas and stuff, but I didn't try any of them because, well, first of all, I don't really like tea, but also because a lot of them have the fenugreek in it. So double check all the ingredients. Also, don't use or eat anything peppermint, because peppermint can really hurt your supply too. In fact, when women are weaning and trying to dry up their supply, they are advised to use like peppermint essential oils and like that sort of thing. So peppermint is actually really bad for your supply. So don't try anything peppermint either. What? Do you want to sit up? Okay, hang on. We're going to sit up. Say hi, everybody. Okay. So no peppermint, no fenugreek, but maybe oatmeal. But the biggest thing as far as like what you can like eat or drink or whatever that will help your supply, water. I hate water. I absolutely loathe water. But I have been drinking basically strictly water for, well, I had to during pregnancy too because of the diabetes. So for almost a year now. And I had to up my amount of water every day because in order to make breast milk, you cannot be dehydrated. If you are dehydrated, your body will not make it because it needs the whatever stuff that it uses to make the breast milk. It needs it for other things so that your kidneys can still work and your blood will still flow and your heart will still pump, and I don't know, I'm not a scientist. So you have to make sure you're not dehydrated. I have issues with that because I have been a soda addict since I was a child, and so I think I was literally perpetually dehydrated. I actually can't really tell when I'm dehydrated. My husband will notice signs of dehydration in me and hand me a water and say, you need to drink. I don't notice those things because I'm so used to being dehydrated for so long. So my husband, I will drink flavored waters. I will not drink straight water right now. I refuse. I had to during the pregnancy because of the diabetes, and I refuse to right now. I'm so freaking sick of it because I hated it to begin with. So what my husband does is before work, every day he will prep 3 32-ounce bottles of water, of flavored water for me, and he expects, it doesn't always happen because sometimes she just doesn't let me, but he expects at least 2 of those to be gone by the time he comes home from work every day, because otherwise that means I'm going to be dehydrated. And so okay, I know I'm saying this in such a way that it sounds like, oh, you're going to be in trouble. Like, no, I'm not going to be in trouble. He's trying to be supportive. He's being encouraging. He's not being controlling. Don't take it the wrong way. My husband is very not controlling. He's just very supportive, incredibly supportive, and he knows that this is a struggle of mine. So he's trying to. He's a hard ass about it because he knows that's what I need, and I've asked him to be a hard ass about it. So when he comes home from work, if 2 out of the 3 bottles are not gone, he will kind of sit there and be like, okay, you need to take a drink. Okay, you need to take a drink. And he will just encourage me to keep drinking because otherwise I will get dehydrated and then my supply will tank. And he knows how important this is to me. So he's very encouraging that way. And it's kind of annoying, but I asked him to do it, so I can't really get mad at him. Because all he's doing is what I asked. Gotta love those catch-22s. So make sure you are drinking enough and eating. I know, society and everything's like, oh, you had your baby, okay, get your body back or whatever. Listen, yes, we should all be exercising and trying to be healthy and yada yada yada. And I will be the first person to tell you that I have no love for my body. I kind of hate it. And I really always have. Since I hit puberty. Like, I gained a lot of weight with puberty, and I kind of hate my body. I know, I'm not going to teach you that. I'm going to teach you to love yours. I know. I gave you this remote. You probably can't mess things up with this remote. That's just a fire tube. Come here. Are you still sleepy? You took like a 2-hour nap. So, like, I understand that this is a lot easier said than done, but you need to be eating more calories so that your body gets enough nutrients to make the breast milk So even if you're trying to like watch what you eat and lose weight, don't be too hard on yourself with that, because if you do too much of that, your supply will tank. I haven't tried it because I refuse. But if I'm going to lose weight, it's going to be through exercising more, not watching what I eat. I will not diet because I know I won't stick to it. But I have heard some horror stories about women just trying to eat a little bit less, just, kind of portion things out a little better, and it just tanked their supply completely. So you need to be getting your calories in. If you're really going to be, a hard ass about like, no, I need to lose weight, just up your exercising or something, because you got to get those calories in, otherwise your milk won't stick. So as much as I hate my body, I'm dealing with it right now because I don't want to lose weight at the expense of losing my nursing journey with my daughter. The last tip, I think this is the last tip. I might be forgetting stuff, so I might be doing an extra video later of, hey, I forgot this stuff. But for right now, I think it's the last tip. Does that taste yummy? Okay. I think it's the last tip. Get what's called a haka. It is technically a manual pump, but it's not. I don't use it as a pump, and I don't encourage you to use it as a pump. There are better pumps out there, manual and otherwise. This you don't use as a pump. You use it as a catcher, I guess that'd be the best way to describe it. So what I do is I put it on one side while she's nursing on the other. Now granted, this only works if you have a singleton and you're not tandem nursing. If you're tandem nursing, this obviously won't work because you're using both boobs. Unless you're some kind of alien that has 3 boobs, like in Star Trek, this won't work. But if you are not tandem nursing, then what you do is you put your baby on one side and you put the haka on the other and keep a hold on it, because if your baby's anything like mine, she will try and kick it off or yank it off or what have you. Because apparently we have reached the stage of, that thing is stealing my milk, what the hell. So keep an eye on it. But latch your baby on one side and latch the haka on the other. I'll show you my haka and sort of, because I can't show you my boob on YouTube, but I'll show you kind of how to use it in a minute. But so you put it on one side, and what happens, most women, not all, but most women will get a double letdown. So if you're nursing on one side and get a letdown, you will get a letdown on the other side. It may not be as powerful though. If you're like me, it will not be as powerful, but you will leak. What the haka does is it catches what you leak, and also if you use it properly, it will slightly, it's still not as efficient as the baby, but it will slightly up the letdown and you will get a little bit more out. Now, this can be used to trick your body into thinking you're nursing twins and therefore up your supply. But that doesn't always work. That doesn't always work, but what it also does do, this is the bigger thing, that didn't actually trick my body into thinking I had twins, but it can. But what I used it for is, I caught the milk on the other side while I was nursing, which meant that after, I think it took about 2 weeks, I think. But after that, I was able to stop formula supplementing, and I could use milk to supplement. I could give her a bottle of milk instead of formula. So I was still technically supplementing, but it was milk, not formula, which is better for your wallet and better for your baby. And so that was really helpful. I was able to collect milk while nursing without having to be hooked up to my entire big pump. I can do this while I'm out and about. It's a little weird because it looks a little funky. It makes your boob look a little weird. But whatever, I don't give a crap. So you can do it while you're out. You can do it while you're home. You don't have to be hooked up to your pump, sitting, in whatever area of the house you have your pump set up in, where you're bored and you're out of the way of, you know, any guests coming over or whatever. Like, no, it's just, it sits on your side. It's really easy, and it's really cheap too. I think the one I got was, I think it was like $12 or something on Amazon. I've heard you can get them in stores, but I've never seen them in stores. But I also don't go to too many stores. Because I don't have a lot of money. If I go to stores, I'm going to spend money. So I don't go shopping very much. So I got mine off Amazon. They also have really nicer ones. Mine is just the Haka, but they do have ones that have like suction cups on the bottom and covers and all sorts of stuff like that. And those get a little more expensive. Honey, have your fun. So yeah, and your rattle. Don't mind the little Einsteins in the background. If it's the only thing that'll keep her quiet, I'm going to use it. I try not to give her too much TV because she's not even 5 months old yet, but sometimes you desperate measures. But yeah, so the Haka is an amazing investment, and it's not even that big of an investment. It's actually pretty cheap, and that's a statement coming from a cheapskate. And I mean cheapskate. We spent $80 on my engagement ring, and I was proud of that. So when I say I'm a cheapskate, I mean I'm a cheapskate. So the Haka really isn't that expensive, and it will really help out because, like I said, if you use it properly, you can build a supply. Even when you have a low milk supply, you can build a small stock so that you can at least cut out formula. You may still have to supplement, but at least it'll still be milk. And that made me feel a lot better when I started doing that. And that is what ended up getting me through the last couple of weeks until I finally got enough that I could honestly say she has been exclusively breastfed. So it took me until about her 2-month birthday to get to a point where we could be exclusively breastfeeding, and where I can honestly look at you and say the only time she has bottles now is when I'm not around, which is extremely rare. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and pretty much I kind of combine different parenting theories, but the one that I seem to line up with most is attachment parenting. So yeah, I'm kind of around her a lot. And so it's not very often she gets bottles anymore. But in 3 days she will be 5 months old. So I think I'm close enough to say it. I have been exclusively breastfeeding my daughter for 3 months. And those first 2 months were hell trying to get my supply up. But it is so worth it because she and I have such a bond. I mean, she's 5 months old. I mean, you can see it. You can see how little she is. She can't sit up on her own. She's getting there, but she can't sit up on her own yet. She doesn't have solid foods yet, nothing. And she and I have such a crazy bond. And I love that. She also has avoided getting sick. There have been a couple of times where her father and I have been sick. She has not gotten sick, knock on wood. Where's my wood? Where's headboard? Knock on wood. Because of the breast milk. I mean, she gets a stuffy nose, but I think that's just more winter allergies. Because she's had that since before Christmas. And it's February. Is that your problem? Are your teeth bothering you? Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me find your bank. Hold on. Look at the bank. Let me find your bank. I know it's in here somewhere. I know it's in our little bucket. There it is. Here's your new bank. It's supposed to be special for your teething. Yeah. So supposed to hit all of your little teethies that you don't have. We've been teething since 2 months, too. It's great. She hasn't gotten a single tooth yet, but she's been teething for 3 months. It's great. But yeah, so it took a lot of determination and stubbornness. And a lot of hard work. But it is doable. And I know it's not doable for everybody. There are some women who just can't. I know that. And so I don't mean to hurt anybody who really can't. Because I know that can hurt. But this worked for me. And I'm hoping that it will help other women work. Because I know how important this is to some women. To some women it doesn't matter, and that's totally fine. But for some women it really does matter. I know, like, my mom couldn't, and I know how important it was to her and everything. So I know how important it is to some women, and I'm just hoping that my experience can help some women. So I'm going to show you how to use the haka real quick. And then I'm going to end this video because it's an hour long, and I'm sorry it's so long. And I also probably need to give this one a diaper change. She's overdue. But yeah. So I'll show you the haka real quick. If you guys have any more questions about this, just put something in the comments and I will totally answer. I have no holds barred. Okay, I will answer any questions you want. And I can recommend support groups and like Facebook ones and like in-person ones if you're in my area, and like, trust me, ask me anything you want. It's fine. I will help you in any way I can, because I've been doing a hell of a lot of research on this too. So, So, it's got milk in it from last time I nursed her. She fell asleep, so I haven't been able to get up and take care of it. But this is the haka. So you can see it's just made of silicone, and it's just got like this little bottle part that catches the milk, and then this part is the part that your boob goes in. So you fold this part back and you squeeze this to get air out, and then you put your nipple in there and you let go of it and pop this back onto your boob, and that gives it a really good suction. It can still be kicked off by a tiny little baby. I will warn you. And she can kick it far. And then you will get ounces of milk all over your bed, couch, wherever you're nursing. And it's a big mess. And it's lovely. So keep an eye on it. But it's great. I mean, you can see the thing is about half full right now, and I think it holds, 3 ounces. I will say, after you get to about the 2 ounce mark, it will start to kind of droop, and it might pop itself off because it just gets so heavy. So also keep an eye on that. But I can, on average, if I use this while nursing her, I can on average get about an ounce. Sometimes it's a little less if she's cluster feeding, and so she hasn't nursed. It hasn't been long enough between nursing sessions. No, I can't let you play with the haka while there's milk in the baby. I'm sorry. I know that was teasing. I know. I'm sorry. I know you like to play with it. Or if she's gone a really long time, like at night, she usually sleeps a little bit more at night. So if it's too long between nursing sessions, I'll get a little bit more. Like I said, I can get sometimes up to like once or twice I've gotten like 3 ounces. But usually on average, I get about an ounce out of it per nursing session. So that means throughout the day with just the haka, no pumping, no nothing. I don't even really pump anymore unless I'm away from her. I think I said that earlier, but I don't pump unless I'm away from her. I just use the haka, and I think my average is somewhere between 4 and 5 ounces a day put into the fridge, and then into the freezer eventually too, to use when I am away from her. And I don't use the haka every nursing session because sometimes I just forget, or sometimes it's not clean, or sometimes she starts nursing in a position and I just can't reach the damn thing because baby. So I don't use it every nursing session. If I did, I could probably get like 7 or 8 ounces a day. find the giant baby head in the bottom of the screen. But yeah, so like if you use one of those, it can really help you get a stash so that you can just eliminate the formula at least. And I know that really encouraged me. In my situation, that really encouraged me. The fact that I was able to cut out formula and say that she may not be exclusively breastfed yet, but she is exclusively milk fed. That really encouraged me to finish what I was doing, to keep going and keep persevering through it and get to the point that I am now, where I can actually say for 3 months she has been exclusively breastfed. The only time she has bottles is when I'm away from her. And I have a little bit of a freezer stash. I don't know exactly how much. I probably should find that out, but I do have a little bit of a freezer stash now too. So, which is great because next week I'm having surgery. So if something goes wrong and I can't nurse her for a couple of days, I have a backup supply. And it has taken a long time for me to get to a point where I can say that's a thing that I can say now. Well, but I can say it, and I'm really proud that I did it. And I know I wouldn't have gotten through it without my stubborn determination and without my husband and the support groups I have had online and in person. I know I wouldn't have been able to do it, but I did. And I'm really proud of that. And I'm hoping that my really, really draining experience can help some of you, because that's all I really want to do is help people. That's the whole point of this channel. So, but okay, it's officially been more than an hour now. I have to see if this whole video actually saved, but okay. Till next time, and good luck. Good luck. I honestly mean good luck. I really hope, if your goal is to be a breastfeeder exclusively, then I really hope you get to. And I would love to hear your success stories if you have them. So, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. I guess that's all I say bye-bye.